I'm not really, it's a figment of your imagination.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to those who are here in person. It's Wednesday, September 6th at 6:21 p.m. I'm gonna call the license and committee meeting to order. I think I'm gonna go over some ground rules, okay? No one may speak until granted before. CB11 members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. To raise your hand through Zoom, click the participants icon and you will find the raise hand function there. If you have technical difficulty, click the chat icon and relay your difficulty to the staff. Members should not engage in a back and forth discussion. The chair will recognize the next person to speak. The chat should be used for CB11 business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record when recognized. Please keep your questions and comments brief on topic to the discussion. Members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. All right, well, I guess I called the meeting to order. Marlene, if you could take the roll.
Sure. Adem Briha,
Present.
Carlos Diaz is excused for this meeting. Angela Donadell. Present. Judith Ferraro.
I'm here.
Wanda Hopkins.
Present.
Christina Johnson. Beverly McFarland. Eugene Rodriguez.
Present.
Loretta Soho is appearing via Zoom and will not be counted towards quorum. And Jordan Wright,
Present.
you have a quorum then.
Okay, thank you. With that being said, if I don't see any objections, we will adopt both this month's agenda as well as the committee minutes from, I believe, our last meeting, which was, I don't remember, but whatever that is. All right, seeing no objections, then we've adopted this agenda and approved the committee minutes from our last meeting. All right, announcements. City Council votes to approve outdoor dining plan. I guess without getting into too much detail, this is like the outdoor dining we had during COVID. This is going to be, I guess, the more permanent solution. I don't know if all the details are out. Probably could find them online. I think I'd give a more in-depth summary at next month's meeting once I get more details come to light. Next slide, please. Okay. Informational updates. I don't have any. Does anybody else? Okay, no. Next slide, then. All right, so we're gonna jump into our liquor licenses then. Number one, El Milagro Restaurant and Grill Inc. Doing business by the same name. New application for a wine, beer, and cider license for a restaurant at 209 East 116th Street on 3rd Avenue. Is the applicant present? Well, they could be present on Zoom too. We'll see.
I didn't know that person's appearance, so I'm trying to see if anybody else joined later.
Okay. If they're not,
Then
they had everything submitted, right? So then what we'll do is, if everyone doesn't mind, we'll table them, give them a chance to come. If we get to our last liquor license, we're gonna put them at the end now, so they're not
Okay.
delayed, okay?
No problem.
And if they don't come, then there'll have to be a denial to a new license if they're not here. All right, but we'll give them that opportunity. So if we could go to number 2. Okay, forgive me if I don't say this. Johann Hausberg Antwerp B LLC, new application for a wine, beer, and cider license for a restaurant located at 1567 Lexington Avenue on 100th Street. Is the applicant present?
Yes,
Okay, hi. Could you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about, your plans for this business?
yeah. So we opened Mojo Desserts right before the pandemic, and we have since then been pivoting to stay afloat and in business. And now that this restaurant in the corner, the previous business was Joy Burger, came available, we interested in taking because it's very challenging, the side street business. So we're hoping that having an avenue in a corner, it's going to be our chance to stay in business.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for the committee? Judith?
They say that they're gonna have
Well, I
live,
can ask you directly to her.
oh, you say you're gonna have live music. Could you please give me a synopsis of what you mean, because it says rock bands.
Yes. We want to open, Chef Johan is a Belgian chef that has been working as a private chef for many years in New York, and we hope to have a menu signed by Chef Johan, and once a week, once a month, we want to be able to play some, like jazz and bossa nova, something in that sense.
Are there any, residential?
What kind of building are you, located in? Is it a mixed-use residential building?
It's mixed, yes. It's the previous Joy Burger space.
Is there soundproofing in the establishment?
Well, there is concrete in between the commercial and the above floors.
Okay, you can.
What hours of operation do they expect to have the music?
Well, the hours, if I'm correct, you open 10 AM 7 days a week, and then Sunday through Tuesday, you close at 10, Wednesday and Thursday 11, and then Friday, Saturday midnight, is that correct?
Yes.
And do you, what, and,
That's reasonable.
yeah, those hours are reasonable. Does anybody have any other questions?
This is the pastry lady, right? They sell.
Yes.
Yeah, she said, I think Moho Desserts.
Yeah.
Mojo
Mojo
desserts.
desserts. So you're taking over the space up top, which means you're gonna expand your footprint. So that means you're gonna have people coming in and eating. Are you serving food besides?
Yes. That is the other challenge we face in our current space. We don't have a real kitchen. So we want to have, a meal that we find really hard that people leave the house for dessert. So we want to give the chance that they come for a full meal and they also have our desserts.
Well, I don't have any more questions since it's only, they were serving liquor, they should have food.
Right,
But it's just beer and wine,
Yeah.
so.
Well, like I said, my only concern is
I
that
just
none
think-
of the residents are going to get disturbed by that.
They've been quiet, I've
I
been
think
by
the
that
hours,
place.
it's also the hours are reasonable. I mean, besides the weekends, they're not later than 11 and then 10,
Okay,
Eugene, I make a motion to approve. Okay.
A second the
All right, so
motion.
there's a motion to approve the application by Eugene, and it's been seconded by Angela. Marlene, take the roll.
So Eugene and right?
Yeah.
So, right. Adam Briha,
Yes.
Angela Donato,
Yes.
Judith Cabrera,
yeah,
Wanda Hopkins. Yes. Eugene Rodriguez.
Yes.
And Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you. Please come visit.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna go to number 3 now. Area Latina Bar and Grill Corp. It's a new application for a full liquor license for a restaurant located at 2117 Third Avenue on 116th Street. Is the applicant present?
Yes, we are.
All right, just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your business. Thank you.
Sure. My name is Gustavo Salvador. I'm the representative. Mr. Gaspar Sanchez is here with me. He's the applicant. It's a Mexican restaurant. Seats a total of 46 patrons, 8 at the customer bar. The restaurant is applying for full liquor license, and there's less than 3 licenses within 500 feet, so there's no concern for saturation in the area. The restaurant does have soundproofing installed to mitigate any noise, and any noise levels will be controlled by the applicant principal only. Hours of operation, Sunday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. The principal, Mr. Gaspar, has worked in restaurants his entire life, most recently Ricardo Steakhouse and La Pulperia and Hell's Kitchen.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. You say whatever you want. All right.
Continue, sir.
Does anyone have any questions? First, we'll go through the committee and then we'll see if anybody from the public has any questions. All right?
once again, live music and a disc jockey, are there residential people around there? Yeah, there are.
Yes and no, not really.
To the applicant, okay? And we just
Oh,
Do you have a
okay.
question?
just
or
weird.
Victoria?
Yeah, all right,
You
I'm
need it there.
concerned about the live music
That's how I
and
was
disc
catching it.
jockey. Are there any residential, people in the building or around there? Because if you're gonna have a disc jockey, that it seems to be loud.
It is a mixed use area, so there are some residents around, though it's not a mainly residential area. The owner will have control of the music volume to make sure that the noise stays neighborhood friendly. And also there are no open windows or anything of that nature, so it'll all be enclosed. The DJ isn't going to be something that's going to be late night. It's looking like a more of a brunch thing.
But you have
And as far as-
emergency exits?
Yeah,
How do people get in and out if there's no windows? How do you have no windows?
No, he's not gonna be opening the windows.
Oh, they're gonna be
Everything is
closed.
everything's staying closed is what I mean.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
What is he talking about? Shut up.
Like, I know some places have French doors that open up and that's not the case here.
All right, well, I mean, what hours are you asking for again? I know
Yes.
there was 2 AM. Is
Uh,
there,
se-
go ahead, sorry.
no, sorry, Sunday through Thursday, 7 to 12 AM. And 7 AM to 12 AM, and Friday and Saturday, 7 AM to 2 AM.
I guess just based off of what we just approved, I don't know how the rest of the committee would feel, but since you said that the DJ and live music would be a brunch thing, I don't even know if we would want to restrict you that much, but your hours are later. Would you be willing to say have any live music or DJs stop like at 10 PM on weeknights and say by midnight on weekends?
On weekends.
And by weekends, I mean Friday and Saturday. Sunday would be considered a weeknight in
Yes.
terms of music.
correct.
Can we do it an hour before closing?
You just said,
Uh,
and this is why you just said you were gonna do it past brunch, and now I'm telling you can do it till midnight.
Okay, I didn't want to restrict him to it, but if that's what the community is comfortable with.
I think that's what we're comfortable with. I don't know if we want live music and DJs in a mixed-use building at 1 AM. That's a
No.
little late.
Now, one of the reasons is, other people have to go to work, they're in.
I think 10, let's say, what is it, Sunday through Thursday, 10 PM, Friday and Saturday, midnight.
Midnight. Yep.
Mhm,
I think that's what this committee's comfortable with,
yep,
Okay,
okay?
So does he has to change his,
Yeah, so you would have to modify, I believe it would just be your stipulation form,
and what about
both of
the
them.
questionnaire?
Well, how would he modify the questionnaire, because that only has hours of operation, I'm not telling them they have to close earlier, I'm just telling them they have to.
Oh, that extra,
Modified
the
Right.
extra part
Of the
of the stip.
step,
extra
right,
line.
right, yeah, okay, so on the stipulation, there should be an extra line, we would just ask that you put there specifically that live music and DJs would stop at 10 PM Sunday through Thursday and midnight Friday and Saturday. Your actual hours of operation are fine as they are. That's only regarding live music and DJs. And since that shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes to do, we just ask that you could resubmit that via email to the board office by, say, close of business this Friday. I think would be
sounds
okay.
like a plan.
yeah, not a problem.
Hello?
What do you suggest?
1 second, I see that I'm sorry, guys. I see that there are some hands raised,
Yeah, we're gonna-
Dem as the chair will recognize them, okay?
We're not
Please.
taking a motion yet. Eugene, no, you were saying.
I just wanted, what do we do in the intro? While he's doing the new stipulation. Do we take any action now?
Yeah, we're gonna vote with the condition that he has a stipulation. And as long as he submits that on Friday, our motion carries
It's
through.
also gonna go on the resume.
Yeah, so, with that being said, then Marlene, at their hands, I want you to recognize them.
There is one hand, Mendoza,
Good evening.
hi.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me?
We
Yeah,
can hear
Yes.
you, yes.
Okay, so this establishment has been with other names. And they've gone through the same issue, but they've always gone past the hour. And my wife and I have always been with 311 calling them to please lower the music.
Do we have 311 calls?
it's a new license, right?
Yeah, it's a new-
Under the last establishment name. You're not gonna see it under this name now. You're gonna see it under the last establishment name. Now,
But there weren't a significant amount of 311s, so how many 311s have you made within the last 2 years?
it's
That's
a lot.
the question.
And is it the same?
Okay,
one?
okay.
It didn't pull up, yeah.
No, 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 no. Been closed for the last year. So you gotta go prior, before that.
Yes,
Now-
the board office runs them for 2 years.
No, exactly. So the thing is, I don't mind them getting the liquor license as long as they follow the law.
Sir, so the way, I appreciate you coming in, so the reason this board added a stipulation is prior to us having stipulations, once we gave a license out, we had little, to do, right? You have to go to SLA, and we all know that that could be a real challenge. When they sign these stipulations, they're actually entering an agreement with this
Right.
board, meaning if you come to us, say, a month from now, and you say, I was in bed and I heard the DJ and I went downstairs and it was going on at 1 a.m. You come, you don't even have to come here. You could do it anonymously, let the board know, and we will bring them back here because then they've breached this contract. That's why I specifically told to put it on the stipulation form, because then they will be bound to that. And if they don't adhere to that, and we're not here to go and actively search out people who are not following the rules, but when those are brought to us, we will enforce it.
I hear exactly what you're saying, but this comes because the rent is so high and they need to play live music to keep up with the rent. That is
Do
why.
you have reason to believe this is the same owner that was there 2 years ago?
It's a different owner, but what I'm saying is it's following the same pattern. This is why the last owner left.
You want to make sure that he keeps it.
Look, so I hear what you're saying, right? And here's the challenge. I can't assume what they are not gonna do because of what previous people did. What I can say to you is that if they come in, and I'm telling you, and I chair this committee, I've been chair of this committee now for maybe 7 or 8 years. If you come here, I promise you, I'll put them on and we will have it. And we'll make SLA answer to it because there's a stipulation. I mean, I hope that we don't have to go there. And I hope the applicant is listening to this. And I don't think that, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, me as well, because you know why? As you know, land-owned place, all for it. But the thing is, you gotta, there's the follow of the, my kids have to go to sleep. Everybody has to go to sleep, and you follow.
Well, you have my word that I can't promise you what they're gonna do, but I can promise you what I will do if they don't do what they're agreeing to. So, that's really all I can do right now.
And they're listening.
That's fine.
And I hope they're listening, and not that they have to, for all we know, they have every intention to do the right thing. All right. All right, do we have any other hands?
So what we're doing is we're changing the hours, right?
We're changing the hours of live music.
Right, and on the stipulation, it also says live music, so maybe they should uncheck that on the stipulation.
But
Well,
at a certain
we're
hour,
saying they can have live music.
yeah.
They just can't have it past.
Certain hours.
All right, I'll do it real quickly again. Sunday through Thursday,
Right.
live music DJ stops at 10 p.m.
Right.
Friday and Saturday midnight. They're going
Right.
to submit a stipulation form that revised to that effect.
Okay.
And if they don't, and we have complaints coming in, then we will have them come back here and we will address it. And whether that means SLA has to get involved, whatever, those are the next steps. Hopefully they don't cross those bridges, all right? Do we have a motion then? And I'm just gonna say it for the record, so you don't have to repeat it all. Whoever makes the motion, it is with that stipulation that Friday, okay?
So I motion to approve.
Second.
You got it. Only you make the call. All right, Wanda, I'll give it to you. All right, so motion by Angela with the stipulation
Whitney.
revised by Friday, seconded by Wanda. Marlene,
Right.
if you could take the roll, please.
1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Madam Greenhouse,
Yes.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Judith Ferraro,
Okay,
Wanda Hopkins.
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez.
Yes.
And Jordan Wright.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Okay,
Motion
thank you.
carries.
Go up to the.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right, 4 is Harlem House of Seafood, That's, right, okay, doing business as Harlem House of Seafood, an application for a full liquor license. For restaurant at 247 East 111th Street on Second Avenue, and we have the applicant and their representative here, so the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening to all the license and the permit committee board members, committee board 11, hope everybody had a good summer. You still look like you're in your summer mood. That's great. So this is a new application for a restaurant. It's gonna be a seafood restaurant on 247 East 111th Street with an entrance on Second Avenue. It will have 21 tables, 42 seats, you know, each table was 2 seats. And 8 bar seats for a total of 50 seats. It's a family affair. I'm here with the owner, Alexis Todd, the uncle, Ted in the back, the aunt, Avon Williams, not here, but they're from East Harlem, by the way.
I know.
That's why.
People, yeah, I was,
So if all of you are familiar, there are long
I'm
time.
not sure about them getting liquor though.
Yeah.
Eating liquor at the same time could be much.
They've operated places with no liquor, just food, because the food is that good. So if you know, so you may not know. I'm sure you might know. House of Seafood, was on Lennox Avenue, on 31st Street. On 31st, 130. They also have one on 45th Street and 7th Avenue.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, they relocated to Atlanta briefly, so they opened another seafood restaurant. They're back here, but the seafood restaurant in Atlanta is still operating because it's trying to catch all the fish.
I just have one question.
And their hours operation would be 11 a.m. to 12 midnight, Monday through Thursday.
No live music?
No live music, none, zero.
No loud music, but there's a disc jockey.
Right, let me get to that, so no live music though. The hours operation will be 11 a.m. to 12 midnight, Monday through Thursday, they'll have to be open for lunch and obviously dinner. 11 a.m. through 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday, and 12 noon on Sunday, 12 noon to 12 midnight on Sundays. So, again, they're primarily a food oriented place, again, it's got places without liquor licenses that operated very, very successfully.
It's the music
They
right
will,
now.
right, they will, they're applying for recorded background, karaoke and DJ, but it will be played at very, very low levels. It's just an entertainment thing, no live music whatsoever. Yeah, it's all restaurants, all food. The menu is 5 pages,
I have
I
2
submitted to the board, yeah, the menu is 5 pages.
Will you be serving catfish?
yeah.
That's the first thing I mentioned today.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
We have
I want my time back. And, are you making for me?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Porgies?
Yeah. The whole fish.
Huh?
5 pages on the menu.
Catfish.
With some vinegar.
All right, all right.
It's 5 pages.
All right,
Jockey, if there's no
Yeah, I'm ready.
music, that's-
there's a
That's
default,
even closer
so the
to now.
DJ and live
And
music,
karaoke.
right, so karaoke and the DJ, right, so my question then is same thing as the
Sound.
previous applicant.
Right,
Well, first of all, is there
exactly.
soundproofing?
No, there is.
There's
They're
not.
sitting there, they're looking at it. Yeah.
Okay, would they be willing to, like the previous applicants, 10 PM on Sunday to Thursday? They can have the recorded music until they close,
Yeah.
but that the karaoke and the DJ,
That,
10 PM Sunday to Thursday and midnight Friday and
Yeah,
Saturday.
always make the point, we'll go ahead.
Oh, yeah, karaoke is probably gonna be probably once a month. It's
Okay,
not really like an everyday thing.
you could do it more than once a month. I'm just saying, if you do it, those would be,
Yeah.
if you'd be okay with ending it by
Yes, that's fine.
10 PM Sunday,
Always like to
and
emphasize.
midnight Friday and Saturday.
Before we get, I always like to emphasize that
Yeah.
even recorded music, you can blast off. So the DJ or even the live music is not the problem. The problem is the volume.
It's
With
also-
recorded music, you can have tremendous volume.
The problem too, though, with karaoke and DJ events is, it's also it can create certain environments where it gets a little bit more out of control, whereas the recorded music, even loud, it's a lot easier to shut it down. You just go like that, you know, that's
Yeah,
that's
they're
my.
not looking at any promoted event.
I don't think they are, and I don't want to restrict you to one karaoke, you might do it and it might be successful, and you might say, I want to do it 5 times, so nobody wants to stop you from doing that.
You know how restaurants usually open, usually wait, until they get the liquor license, sometimes they have to wait 7 months, 8 months. They're gonna open for food only, they're not, liquor license is like a secondary.
Yeah.
tomorrow? Oh,
All right, so Why not the same thing then, by Friday, it's a good stipulation, just that the karaoke and the DJ starts
Yes.
10 p.m. Thursday through Sunday, midnight, Friday and Saturday.
Fair enough.
Recorded music, whatever, and there's no restriction on what nights you can do it, as long as you abide by those hours, I don't think there's an issue. Jared, are you gonna make the motion?
No, you are not.
I'll make the motion. She said yes.
Well, if she said yes, she said yes. But she has to say yes.
I was looking at this.
I mean, it's a matter of volume control.
I understand, but I just told them, why is this
They
applicant?
have live music. And
Yeah,
live
live
music
music.
usually is allowed in live music.
I know, karaoke is live music when people start singing.
Karaoke sing.
Yes, but
I mean, I'm not a music expert, but I'm, you
Yeah,
know, I don't wanna.
because-
But it's like, how loud are you gonna have it with food? Because we're not a club or like a lounge or anything. We're more so like, I need to hear my customers. I need to, hear what's going on. So it's not gonna be but so loud. I'm not too sure who's there previously, but we are a restaurant and I can't deal with too much loudness. So.
But do you feel like you would need to do karaoke past those hours at any point?
Possibly maybe to 12 one night. I mean, if it.
Right, on a Friday or
Then
Saturday?
yes, not on a weekday.
Right, but right, so Friday and Saturday, I said you could go to midnight with the karaoke live music. Just not the weekdays, till 10.
he has a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so don't say, I get what you're saying, so now, my question would be, say on Friday, weekend, Friday and Saturday, after 12, we can play the recorded music.
Yeah,
Just the DJ has to stop.
Yeah.
That's all,
Okay.
yeah,
but we can play the recorded.
of course.
Right.
Muzak.
Nobody's gonna tell you, I wouldn't expect people to be in a restaurant and not wanna have music.
Right.
Just like, if you're gonna have karaoke and DJ, that stops at midnight. If your hours are till 2, play the recorded music till 2.
Okay, that's what, that works.
All right.
I've never.
And then on the
In the line.
10 o'clock on the weekdays, but if you close midnight, play the recorded music till you go.
Wow.
Go with
No, I know.
I've just never seen the line.
outcome.
And look, this is what I will say to you too. You come back in 2 years for renewal and you haven't had any issues,
We
or
can leave
or
it
if
at-
you wanna come back in a year and do a method of operation change, and we have no 311s or complaints, we're open to, doing it. We're a little, always with new applicants, we just don't know what's gonna happen. But if a year, there's no 311s, you wanna do a method of operation change, come back with, I don't think it even costs you any money, it just changes your license. We'll say to you, okay, you wanna extend it more, there haven't been any issues, we'd be open to listening to that, all right? All right,
I
so
agree, there are new applicants, but however, keep in mind, they have a long track record in the restaurant business.
Like,
And it's food oriented, without even liquor in some places, no liquor. in some places.
Make a motion to accept their application.
Second.
Thank you. I won't second this.
all right, so we're saying with the stipulation, Friday, if you could have the stipulation for amended live music karaoke.
No live music,
Sorry,
yes.
DJ karaoke, midnight, Friday, Saturday, 10, Monday, to Thursday, recorded music can go till closing 7 days a week. Okay, so there's a motion by Eugene,
Wait. You said Sunday, Thursday or Monday, Thursday? 10
Sun-
p.m.
Sunday to Thursday, same as the one
Sunday,
before.
okay.
Okay, then I know who everybody.
Eugene made the motion, Wanda, second. You did? Jordan, second.
Maybe, but
I'm
yeah,
going to the restaurant. My mom makes all the cakes.
so you know, Tracy.
Angela, you ready? If you
No.
Yes, I'm ready to
are
vote.
really into your cake.
I'm sorry.
Dan Greha,
Yes.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Judith Ferraro,
Yes.
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Jordan Knight.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, good luck, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. It should be open in like a month.
Thank you so much.
All right, now,
All right. But made in Mexico. you take that. Made in Mexico.
Okay.
all right. And let's.
Sorry.
Let's just try to please.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, brother. My dad's gonna be cool.
Yeah, that's-
Got it.
I think it's taking me home to be home.
Yes. Everybody's still there, but I'm gonna let them know, oop, at the building, sorry. Sorry.
All right, number 5. I've got Shadyville, doing business as Norman Fair.
You guys voted, you can't.
Yo, man.
I'm gonna come by
I'm
your,
sick, I don't wanna,
I'm gonna come by your spot. You have pizza, right? You have pizza.
Yeah.
I need to go get food tonight.
Number, all right, let's get back. You guys come.
I ain't got nothing
Sure.
to do.
What I'd like to ask you, my license is off. All right. 5 is Shanesville Inc. doing business Sterling Affair renewal application for full liquor license for restaurant located at 1216 Fifth Avenue and 103rd Street. I know Marlene, you said. Yeah, but I believe they were mission.
Oh, they're in the museum.
Well, hold on a second. Are they're not probably present, Marlene, are they?
I didn't know.
And they were missing documents,
Yes.
correct?
Oh, so we don't even need to worry about
Yeah,
this.
okay, we table that.
Not table,
We
we
gotta
can,
take a position. It doesn't make a difference. I'll have to come back next month.
yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
motion
To
to
deny.
deny.
Second. All right, so there's a motion to deny Sterling Affairs renewal application by Angela. It has been seconded by Eugene. Marlene, whenever you can. 2016, I don't know where that was.
That's gotta be at the museum.
Yeah, I think it is.
It is in the museum,
Yeah,
a museum of the city of New York, not
Oh,
the body.
okay,
right,
Ready?
right.
yeah,
Adem Rihad,
yes.
Full motion,
Angela Donaville,
Yes,
Judith Ferraro,
yes.
okay, so this. is
Wanda
yes.
Hopkins. Eugene Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And Jordan Wright.
Yes.
The motion carried.
All right, thank you, Marlene.
Okay, Lulu and Teddy.
All right, number 6 is ACGM GLC doing business as Teddy's Bar, renewal for a full liquor license for a restaurant at 2171 Second Avenue on 112th Street. This is the one that they had the 7301s and like a recent one. Are they present?
It's right there.
Oh, okay. I think there was only one, like, 7 is not a lot, and there was one recent one. Do you have any idea what that was about? I mean, I don't think it's.
The reason why we probably need was just a bunch of people loitering in front that were drinking their own alcohol, I was trying to get rid of them.
Okay.
And they wouldn't charge,
Yeah,
it's pretty much it.
I mean, it was one there was one, do we have the list? What?
Yeah.
But when we're, let me see, can I see that? No. All right. So if I'm correct, the soonest one to today would be, these were 2022, so September, and then there was a few in June, but they were all from like one day. So that's really it. And then there was one in February. I mean, if you wanna see it, but I don't think it's an issue.
They have all their
They have
papers.
everything, yeah.
So motion to approve.
Yeah, I think, we brought you in for procedure to see what you said, but I don't think it's an issue, all right? I'm familiar with it. Yeah, so then, Angela, did you make a motion to?
Motion to approve.
I second. And seconded by Eugene, okay, Marlene, if you could take the way.
Oh
Adem-
my goodness, Patsy's is here.
Adem Rihad.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a no.
I'm so sorry.
Angela Donaville.
Yes.
Judith Ferraro, Wanda Hopkins. Eugene.
Yes.
Thank you. And Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I present not vote, doesn't that count? Yeah, that's a no vote.
A renewal,
All right.
is there any 311s for that? Oh,
Number
sorry.
7 is La
Amistad.
Amistad Pizzeria and Grill Inc. Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care. Renewal application for a wine, beer and cider license for a restaurant at 2067 Second Avenue on 106th Street. Marlene, I believe you said they were also missing some documents, right?
Yes,
And are they present?
no, I didn't know if they were.
Motion to
Motion denied by Wanda,
Oh,
seconded by Jordan. Marlene, if you could take
This I've not,
Adem
I've been on the
Rihad,
board 3 years and been to 2 meetings.
Angela Donaville.
Yes.
Judith Ferraro,
Yes, to deny.
Wanda Hopkins.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, I have to focus on this whole meeting will go to the tubes.
It'll go off the rails. It's already
I
off the
can't,
rails.
I have to focus. Jordan,
I don't know about this last thing on the agenda.
the motion
Yeah.
carries.
All right, thank you. Next slide, please.
I was a yes on that, right?
All right, so I'm gonna recuse myself, Judith.
Yes, I go. I go.
Is all the paperwork in? Are there any
I am
311s?
checking. I am checking.
Has there been any complaints? Is the music too loud?
I don't know if the speaker.
How long has they had the license? Are you sure they can renew it? Why do they need liquor with pizza? I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of questions.
That's right, especially for this place.
So Judith, you have answers?
Any of those things?
Judith, you might want to read it out loud for the record and move the meeting along.
Factory Inc., DBA Patsy's Pizzeria renewal application for full liquor license number 128G622 for a restaurant located at 2287, 2289 First Avenue, New York, 135, 118th.
So I do have another question. So you
Yes.
have a full menu
So I
to be serving alcohol?
I can answer these questions.
Of
Lois.
course, you're not.
You don't have to be here, but yes, we will. Good, yeah. Yeah, as far as I know,
for letting me.
all joking aside, I don't think we've ever had a 311. We've been, the business has been there for 90 years. Me on this company, what?
Nobody on them block but you.
All right.
I've lived in that building.
Yeah, my family. No, we have people on the list.
I know.
You do.
I know.
I know we
I'm
messing
sorry,
around.
I wasn't able to, I'm supposed to take it over.
Motion to approve the application.
Should I even call for a motion, but I don't want to do
Have
that.
to call for
I
it.
know.
Oh, sorry.
Well, okay, go ahead.
Call for a mo- Oh, I would like to motion to approve
Okay,
Back 3 DBA Patsy's Pizzeria.
okay, and I will second.
Okay. I've been going there, my father took us there since I was a little girl. Every Friday, he would drive us in the car, because we didn't live over this side, to eat at Patsy's. And we took other children and grandchildren. And I have been going there for at least 40 years.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got a story to tell you about that.
Wait, I can be.
That's to chew my ear off.
Can-
All right, President not voting.
Yep.
Yes,
Angela Donado,
Approve.
Judith Ferraro,
approved.
Wanda Hopkins,
Approved.
Eugene Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And Jordan Ryan.
Yeah.
Just want y'all to remember that when I open up my restaurant,
The
you come to the
motion
board
carries.
to approve these.
All right, so we're gonna go to street activity permits now. Number 9 is New York City, DOE District 4, Welcome Back to School Festival. It's a street event. It's on September 30th from
Yes.
8 AM to 2 PM. It's on East 120th between 3rd and Lexington Avenue. It is a full street closure. Is the applicant present?
Yes.
All right, I'm assuming it's Lenny's Patino. If it's not, introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your event.
No, it is Lenny Spatino. Hello, everyone. Thank you.
Hello,
Our
ladies.
event, hey Angela, how are you? Our event is a yearly event where we introduce the community of East Harlem to all of our schools, and it's basically just like a start of the school year where the community comes together on 120th Street. And it's been an annual event that we've had every year for I can't even recall for how
Don't
long.
even follow.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Judith.
Is Debbie Quinones involved in that? Cause it's right by the Art Park, right? Hello?
I'm sorry,
Lenny-
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the
Is
question.
Debbie Quinones
It's
involved?
Yeah, involved because it's right by the Art Park. It's on that block by the Art Park.
No, this is what by the district superintendent's office is the one who's involved with this. We're the coordinators of it.
120th.
Yeah.
Between Third and West, the Art Park is there.
But usually it's open up during that day because all the schools in the district
I know,
are there.
I know.
So any other,
Yes, Seven is right, is there.
yes, any other questions? We have questions?
No, I was just curious
Okay.
because I know she has her, events on the same block.
Okay, well, they have all their documents, so if there are no other questions, thank you, Wanda. Motion to approve by Wanda, seconded by Angela. Marlene, if you could take the roll.
Here we go. That's one more yes.
And then Rita,
Yes.
Yes,
Angela Donado, okay.
I know I left.
Judith Ferraro,
Yes,
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez, and Jordan Ryan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Oh.
Now this one I don't know about.
I don't think she has any. Did we skip one or was that 10?
That was 9.
That was
No,
not-
I don't know, that's, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's-
I'm
It was-
And then we're gonna circle back to that liquor license that was one at the end of all of it, right?
Oh, we did give Patsy's that thing, right?
Mount Sinai, Phillips School of Nursing Community
Never
Health
heard of
Fair.
this.
It's a health fair. It's on September 30th. Setup is 9 AM, breakdown 4:30 PM. Location is East 126 between Third and Lexington Avenue. It is a full street closure. Is the applicant here, Natalie Klein?
There are reps on the line from outside.
Okay, whoever's here on behalf of this, health fair, could you just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your health fair? Thank you.
Hi, yes, thank you. My name is Bernice Stern. I'm the Assistant Dean of the School of Nursing. Natalie, the applicant, had to leave this meeting because she's in grad school and she had mandatory orientation this evening. But the School of Nursing has been in existence for 120 years. We moved up to East Harlem in November of 2020. We wanted to do a community health fair then, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't. So this is our first community health fair. We already have about 10 participants from different local community service agencies, like the Borican Neighborhood Health Center. Our students will be doing blood pressure and glucose measurements. We have a physician on hand, Dr. Mack, who's the medical director at the Mount Sinai West, and she'll be counseling clients if the blood pressure or the glucose measurement is high. We'll be doing CPR demonstrations. We have Harlem Grown, the food co-op attending. We have the Alliance for Positive Change that'll be doing naloxone training and giving out kits. We have Iris House that'll be doing HIV testing, and the Acacia Network that will talk about their shelters and food bank. We have the Alzheimer's Association and Be the Match, the National Bone Marrow Donor Program, in attendance.
So everything you're gonna have, the people that are gonna participate everything is about medical stuff.
Correct. Health.
But you didn't mention
community health.
food. Is anybody coming about like healthy eating or something?
Yes.
That would,
Grown group is going to give out literature about healthy nutrition.
Where are you located now?
This is where we're located. We're on 126th Street between Third and Lexington Avenue. The health fair will be in front of the school and spread out on the block to the right and the left of us.
Have you been in contact with Borican Health Center? So maybe
She
they
said
want
so.
to.
I think she said
Yes.
that at the beginning.
Oh.
Yes,
And this is the one that's missing a letter of support, but there was no, they said nobody they could get one from. So this event is taking place on 126 between Third and Lexington.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm have a little concern about the traffic.
Go ahead.
Through that area, it's a pretty busy street. And I think it might be sort of a problem with traffic.
On 126th Street?
Yes, 126.
That's right by the school.
Traffic is coming through 126th Street and 126th.
What day is September 30th fall on? Is it a Saturday?
It is Saturday, same day as the back to school event,
Yeah.
which means traffic is gonna be busy if there's a
Anyway.
thoroughway coming through there.
Yeah.
They done this?
What kind of plan do you have? You have a street plan on making sure it's safe? Because if
They
you
have
have,
They have-
they do,
They just,
Submitted,
the only
yes.
thing they don't have is a letter of support because
there's nothing to
they're
write
saying there's
them a
nothing
letter.
there. I mean, all
I
I
would
see is
suggest-
residential building.
Tree Mill housing, right?
Yes.
Treatment,
Yeah.
right. And do they, as far as you know, is there like a tenant organization for that building? There is. So they should be able to get a letter.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to like cross one bridge at a time. The letter of support, because I actually went on Google Maps on my laptop and I saw Tree Mill Housing is on the
Yeah.
corner of this block. And I wasn't sure what the situation is with that building, if there's a tenant organization or whatever. My fellow committee members are saying there are. So I don't think that you should be able to get a letter of support from them if you wanna have this event on that block. I don't think to say that there's nobody there you can get a letter of support from is adequate.
That is,
All right, look, can we just try to stay on topic? Too much, let's get through this. So, do you think you could get a letter of support from that tenant organization on the corner, Tree Mill Housing? And that would be on the corner by Lexington, right?
Yes.
Yes.
126.
Natalie had already spoken with the management office there, made them aware, so I'm sure we can get a letter of support from them, yes.
Organization building, right, we're just not even gonna.
Just
get
one
there.
second. I see the chats going off. It was for 1 second. Okay, technology is being technology, okay? So the meeting just cut out momentarily.
Okay, so just so we're all on the same page now and everybody's back here. The committee is going to want a letter of support from Tree Mill Housing. Since your event is going to take place before this committee meets again, then we would need that in before. Well, I'm just gonna say, what's today? Today is September
Today, the
6th.
sixth.
Okay, usually we'll give them till, if everybody's okay with this, the 15th. So the end of next week, close the business 5 p.m.
Yes,
That the letter of support be sent to the board office. Same place that you would send any other, to Marlene or whatever that email is. If you don't have that in, then this committee it's gonna be a denial, I think, depending on how the motion goes. That's that part. Judith, you were, do you
no,
have?
I'm saying this is close to the Lexington Avenue, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because, Third Avenue has social services right there.
Yeah.
On the,
It's on the corner.
it's right on the corner, right, social services is there too.
Well, I mean, so you're saying that the social service is affected by this as well?
Probably will be, I don't know, but their entrance is on.
They have-
Their entrance is not in the. Okay,
Yeah,
so,
they have one
Yeah.
entrance on 127th, one
Yeah.
on, Third. yeah.
okay, well, we'll stick with
Yeah.
the housing, because that's
Yeah.
directly on the block, all right?
Yeah, okay.
So does anybody on the committee or anybody from the public have any other questions or comments before I entertain a motion? Okay. Seeing no questions or comments, then does somebody want to make a motion? Okay, Wanda,
With the condition of getting the letter from King.
fine, the, close of business next Friday.
Right, closing business is next.
All right, I'll second 15th of September. All right, let's say 5 p.m. is close of business. Seconded by Eugene. Marlene, whenever you can.
This is number 10, yeah? Okay. Adam Greenhouse,
Yes.
Angela Donaldson,
yes.
Judith Capraro,
Yeah,
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Jordan Wright.
Yes.
The motion carries.
All right, thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Next slide.
All right,
You
I
skipped
think you understood.
And then
party on Park
No.
today.
All right, so 11 is Party on the Park Street
On the-
event, October 1st, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's on 125th Street.
to one
And,
sixteen.
okay, sorry, I'm reading, it's kind of 116th to 125th Street and Park Avenue, the full street closure. Carrie, are you on?
Carrie is not here today. It's Leilani in her place. I work under her. So, sorry, everybody.
Just, tell us a little bit about the event.
Okay, I know.
So essentially the event is to promote biking, local business, and just essentially getting the community outside and active. It's gonna be 10 blocks of activations, and each block will have its own activation, such as DJ zone. We'll have like a rolling zone with the skateboards and the roller skating. There'll be a health zone, a train zone, kids zone, resources, fitness, giving out helmets, bike tune-ups, and then it ends at 116th Street / 115th, which is La Maqueta. So it essentially will be each block will have maybe like 4 or 5 different organizations giving out resources or doing games with children or providing a service. And we've had this, I think this will be the 3rd year, but we got rained out last year, so hoping to do it again and hoping to have a community board 11 table there. So that's my
Thank you.
spiel.
I have a question. You got questions? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna advise you, because I know all about this. In fact, Diane Collier is the president of this. This is going to be on Park Avenue going south. It's not going to have any effect of Park Avenue going north. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, so it'll be
Yes.
completely on that side.
We
And
have
the-
had this before. I think you remember, we had a table
Mhm.
at this. So, this is something that's, not new. We have had it before, and, like I said, I just want everyone to know it's the Park Avenue going south, not north.
Thank you, Jada. Angela?
So my question is, you mentioned quite a few different activities.
Yeah,
Are all the activities located at the upper end from
No.
125th Street? Or are they distributed from 125th? Because you mentioned just now that at 116th Street, where it ends, that's where we would have a table and other organizations. So will there be fun activities near 116th Street, just like they're on 125th?
Yeah,
and
that's
actually at
not correct.
117th Street, where
No,
we had our.
But there's
table.
something different,
No,
because
it's
I've
at
been
each
to
block.
it, and most of the good stuff must have happened way closer to 125th and Park, where you guys have your offices, versus having informational sessions. But if you're doing something for the full community, if you got a roller skating rink on 125th, you should have one on 116th Street as well, because not everybody wants to walk up and down in all of that neighborhood like that. People go what's closest to them.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it would be feasible to set up 2 skating rinks, but
I just
but
use
to
it as.
spread
an
out the
example.
events, I think
Yeah.
is a
Like,
fair question.
so there's,
Yeah, to
yeah,
spread it
but
out.
no, I've not seen any of the good things. Like all that stuff she talked about is always uptown.
Further
Not-
north, yeah.
Yes, it's always further north, closer to where their office is.
Do you care to comment on that?
I mean, I totally am here with you. The La Maqueta is supposed to be more of like our fiesta, kind of like they'll in the placita, more likely there'll be a DJ and like people dancing and partying. And then,
But the activities that would be more children friendly are all uptown.
I mean, unless they don't want a free helmet, we're giving out free helmets and free bike tune-ups.
Angela, would you be okay for taking your feedback and see maybe if they'd be willing to?
Yes, I will report back to Carrie.
Because I know this has been going on longer than
Thank you.
3 years.
Let Carrie know that Angela
Yeah,
is.
I will let
Exactly.
Carrie know. I'm just the messenger, y'all.
Thank you. All right, well then, Everything else sounds okay. Judith, thank you for clarifying. It's on the south side of Park Avenue.
And,
With that said,
and they do have all the events along Park
okay,
Avenue.
so does somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Eugene, is there a second?
I'll say.
There's no conditions on that, right?
No.
Conditions that they do stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Angela.
They do stuff all along Park Avenue.
I really think
About that. It's not-
What?
Then we have-
I don't care for that organization.
Angela.
I'm gonna abstain.
Ooh.
Judith Guevara,
I approve.
and Wanda Hopkins. Eugene Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And Jordan Ryan.
Yes.
So I give you all with pass.
The motion carried.
Thank you, good luck. Number 12, all right.
We're looking at.
Number 12, La Grand Cruzada Mundial de Magic Stadium.
For many
All
years.
right, come on.
Anyway, we're almost done.
Yeah.
I need to go home.
Thank you.
What is this?
I know, I was almost gonna make you read it, Eugene. November 11th, I think I've done okay.
Democracy.
November 11th, it is from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Location is East 125th between Lexington and Park Avenue. It is a full street closure. Is Marcelo on the applicant or somebody else?
What is this?
I didn't know this appearance.
From 1 to
They're
2,
not here? Okay, well,
denied.
they're not here and they were missing their letter of support anyway, right? So do I have a motion to deny?
Motion to deny.
All right, motion denied by Angela, seconded by Wanda, Marlene, if you can take the roll.
Oh, that's what it is.
Then we have.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably why they didn't.
yeah, they go one day, you are. And that
Angela
Uptown
Gano?
Grand Central.
Angela.
Yes,
roll.
yes. You do their thing up there, you watch, they'll be closing that street off.
Nine.
Cause that's why the
Wanda
stupid
Hopkins?
subway's going up there.
Oh.
Eugene Rodriguez. And Jordan Ryan.
Good night.
So y'all should have let me
Motion passed.
stay in my house.
I know, I have. Can you go back? I think we have to do the first liquor license.
Yes. Now you're thinking, I should have left her home.
I like your energy, but yeah. All right, number 1, we're gonna circle back. I believe the applicant is.
Are they here?
Yeah.
She's here, but she's having issues with her mic. I told her to call in. I'm not sure. if she did.
Is that
They do have all their paperwork. All right, so the problem is they're a new license, so we do want to hear from them. Number 1 is El Milagro Restaurant and Grill Inc. doing business by the same name. It's a new
Third
application for
Ave.
a wine beer cider license at 209 East 116th Street on Third Avenue. Is the applicant able to speak?
Oh, okay, I know where it's.
Miriam, you should try calling in. That might be easier for you.
Is your store delivered to?
We do, but we're only at Uber Eats.
I don't have. I could use a pizza.
Give me a heads up next time, but not on the night of my.
No.
You know,
Next time.
I would think if we, you know, we would have a meeting that's catered.
Especially.
I don't.
Okay, so the way you unmute yourself is *6. I noted your appearance last time. I don't think you heard me. So on your phone, press *6. Don't press it multiple times, because then you'll be muting yourself. Okay, here we go. You can speak.
Okay, now you hear me?
Okay, so just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, my name is Miriam Marmolejos. I'm the accountant for like 24 years in the East Harlem. So I'm helping El Milagro Restaurant and Grill to file the application for the beer and wine license. They've been struggled. So I recommend them to get a, you know, like a license for them to succeed in the area.
Okay, thank you. So I mean, they have all their documents. It looks like their hours are 9 to 11:30.
Oh, that's reasonable.
And I don't believe they're gonna have any DJs or live music. Judith, if you wanna-
No, not at all.
Oh,
only
okay.
for-
It's not a full liquor license.
And it's a wine.
I'm good.
Yeah, a wine
You
and.
didn't give me the motion,
I'm just looking, they got a full menu, so I mean, I don't see anything here that seems concerning at all.
What?
We don't done after this. All
I've
right,
been
so let's go.
since early this morning, been to work in case.
Does anyone want to make a motion?
Motion to approve the
Second.
application.
Okay, before we do so.
Yeah, they
is
have it.
anyone from the public? I don't think.
No one has
No.
their hand.
All right, so
Oh, somebody Jules just put his hand.
Okay,
who?
Oh,
Jewel
Jewel,
Jones.
is that-
Yeah, the board
Jewel
member.
Jones?
Okay, so recognize her, then we'll hold off on the motion.
Jill Jones, you can speak.
So I'm sorry, are you still on this particular item? Because I thought you were concluding, because I have something not related to this item, but related to street.
Well, then let us finish. I didn't know if you had a comment on the application. I didn't want to vote on it without recognizing.
But so sorry about that. I'm taking my hand down. I'll wait.
Thank you.
okay.
All right, so Angela, you're making a
Motion
motion
to
to approve,
approve.
and you're seconding it, okay?
Roll call.
Marlene, if you take the roll.
And then
I'm taking my job too, yes.
I've been thinking about that for a couple of years. I'm just letting you know.
Angela Donovan,
Yes. I've been practicing. I'm ready.
Yes, she probably took
Wanda
some
Hopkins.
today.
Eugene
Yes.
Rodriguez, and Jordan.
No, not me.
The motion carried.
Oh,
In
thank
general,
you.
I'm a very happy person.
All right, so, that's
I'm
it
pretty
for
much
the
happy.
liquor licenses. All right, then.
Oh, sorry.
no,
What is that?
We got new business. Okay, before we get into new business, Jewel, I'll recognize you if you want to speak.
So thank you. I think it's kind of related to the petitions for support, but I have to report back to you all about what happened on with the concern I had about the street fair old timers on August 19th.
Yeah.
So I think that was okay. The problem is, and I need your guidance here, everybody, because that took place, but for some reason, the Metro North Family Day also took place. Now, just the old timers is on 100th Street between 100th Street, okay, and on 101st Street is Metro North. Now, in the your webpage there, it says on all these street fairs and activities, that Metro North was supposed to take place September 9th. It took place on the same day as the old timers. So I, at the Aspen, and my fellow people that live in the building were sandwiched between two street fairs. I spoke to 23rd Precinct 2-3. I spoke to Community Affairs. I spoke to officers and people that were there. And ultimately, I was told that NYCHA changed the date from September 9th to August 19th, the same day. And that day was horrible. And I mean, I was out and about with the parks tour, which was nice, and the event. So I was in and out all day long. It was just too much that happened. So I want to know this. Someone said that does NYCHA supersede and they can make a decision to change a street fair? And if that happens, then they need to be mindful that there was another street fair going on. I'm sandwiched between 100 and 101 on First Avenue between these things. And I have to say one more thing. When I spoke to an officer at the 2-3, he said to me, I'm just very transparent. So when I called to say, there's two street fairs going on, that Metro North was not supposed to be going on. It was due to happen September 9th. And they're telling me, oh, NYCHA, this and that. And he kind of was saying, well, you know what, we have a bouncy house and, it's like, it keeps people off the street and all that. And I had to stop him because I know why the street fairs happen. I didn't have an issue with the street fair. And frankly speaking, when he said, oh, keeps people, I didn't feel comfortable walking down that block because it took place at the southern tip, like at 100th, like at First. And at the 2nd Avenue side, it was more so in the on that side down there, and at the end of the block, there was hardly anything going on. So I didn't really feel comfortable walking through that street fair. So my question is this: does NYCHA have the ability to supersede and make a decision to say, okay, we're going to change the date from one thing to another?
No. So as far as I know, forget about even us, right? SAPO is the one that gives them the permit. So if they were going to change a date, they would have to go through SAPO, which I would be surprised if they went to SAPO, gave them a change of date, and then they didn't even notify.
Can we check out what
us.
happened?
So,
But
well,
not only that, because even if SAFO usually gives the precinct the date, so the precinct should have had.
so no, NYCHA shouldn't be able to supersede anything. I don't know the details. I mean, we can find out and look into it and find out exactly what happened. You know, did they just decide to go and have this event on whatever day they felt like having it? Did they go to SAPO and the precinct and for whatever reason, the board wasn't notified? We're gonna have to find out what happened and rectify that because, you know, it not only is it bad for you, but it undermines this board then, right? I mean, what are we sitting here approving if, or recommending is a better word, but if somebody could then just go ahead and do something, we're not even notified about it. It kind of makes a night like tonight a total waste of time. So I'm sorry to hear that happen. If you want, I mean, I will look into this. I'll have the office help me look into this. And if you want to reach out, maybe by next week, I hope to have some answers for you. You know, while I can't fix what happened in the past, I could say, I will find out why this happened, and then we'll try to rectify it so that moving forward, even if they're gonna come and say, oh, well, they went and did this, then there's gotta be some kind of procedure that changes, meaning if this can happen, why is this happening? Can we stop this from happening in the future? And if not, can we be given ample notification? But I'm really of the mind that this shouldn't happen in the first place, because why are we meeting? Why are we voting? Why are we asking for documents if somebody can present one thing and then go get permission to do another thing? So, I mean, I'm sorry it happened, but I'm happy you brought it to our attention. And I mean, all I can tell you now is we will look into it and get answers and do our best to make sure something like this doesn't happen again.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We have another hand from Diana.
Okay, Diana, you were recognized.
Yes, hi, my name is Diana from La Villa Merchants Association, and I'm happy that you brought this up because I also had an issue with the event that we're having this coming September 16th, sorry. I submitted the application for September 17. I understand there was another proposal for that same day, but my question is, how do you guys, like, I don't think this should be happening, like giving a lot of events to one organizer who's not even from the community. And I would like to know if this is going to keep happening next year and the following years, because I really think organizations from the community should have the preference to have their events in the community and not have others who are not even part from the community have their events here. So I would like to know if you think this could be fixed next year.
Give me 1 second.
They carry on in they formed a new organization on that block because when the festival was there, they wouldn't give them permission to have.
On 116th Street, when they was trying to do the thing, and then the guy said that they was charging them for tail.
Right.
I remember that. I just needed to go refresh my memory.
So she has another legitimate deal, and the guy is not having. Meanwhile, they have a business.
And you can't let them be, yeah, that was a problem. I don't know what that is now.
Yes, the organizer for the 17th has another event on the 10th. So I was told I couldn't have my event on the 17th because he had
So
to.
because I'm sorry, I'm a little, so these were supposed to happen at the same time, and then we gave it to one and didn't give it to the other one?
No,
Diana. No, it's the thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It was, the event was approved by the community board. The only thing that's the application for the other organizer was submitted first to SAP. I submitted.
So that's, yeah.
So we approved both of them.
Yeah, yes, that's what happened.
So then, I mean, the issue here becomes, and I hear you, and I mean, I'm born in this community from here, and I do believe in some treatment going, preferential treatment going to people from the community. But at the same time, it sounds to me, and we can look into this, like the issue here is also with SAPO. Because we did approve both, And then they went ahead and said yes or no to one. It does become a little challenging for us to realize, oh, wait, they're both doing it. Okay, who's from the community? Who's SAPO gonna say yes or no to? It's something we can try to be more mindful of. To be honest with you, this hasn't really been something that has come up before. But thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Marlene, usually even if SAPO approves the two of them, isn't it supposed to be the first date that SAPO
But I
approves
know,
is
so
the
that's,
one that
yeah,
gets-
so that's what Diana, you and I have spoken many times since July.
Yeah.
And also with, Deputy Speaker Diana Ayala's office regarding your event. And I think we've all been saying the same thing to you. It's not a preferential treatment over a resident, an applicant that doesn't live in the community. It's really just timing. It comes down to timing. You gave in your application, as I told you, I contacted SAPO for you on your behalf in July. And I asked them, what can be done for this applicant? You and I already spoke about this. So you gave it in 20 days after Alex Garcia submitted his. Right,
Oh, I thought
so
it was one day.
it was a significant amount of days behind him. So how SAPO usually rectifies that confusion is they just give it to the first. It's like you're giving it to the first bit. And that's what that is. So next year, if you're anticipating doing this next year, Alex Garcia has done many events in this district. He does a lot in the district. And I hear what you're saying. He doesn't live in the district, but he does events in the district. So that's a valid point, but he does do a lot of events in the district and the board is pretty familiar with him. So he's not a stranger to the board. So next year, just be on top of it a little bit more. Because we're all saying the same thing to you at this point. SAPO said it to you, Deputy Speaker Ayala has said it to you, this board office has said it to you. Next year, just be on top of this event a little bit more so you could secure that date and time.
Yeah, I understand that Alex has been doing events in the community for years, but the other thing is that now that I am involved with the association and talking to businesses and talking to the residents, they don't really agree of him being having this many events in the community. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. Like, is there any way for us to consider that?
Right, so I hear what you're saying, and maybe that's something, sure, you can say in this public hearing, but SAPO is not going to concern themselves with what you just said. They have many districts to disperse these events, and it's like, okay, this is hitting Community District 11. And so maybe the board, you guys can entertain, what she's
I would
saying.
suggest to her that whenever this guy's application comes up, she should be at the meeting and express.
And we've had meetings about.
Whenever his application.
No, but we did have meetings about Cinco de Mayo off the record. I came here, I met with Mr. Garcia, and we had the chair of our board was present, I think Marlene, you were present, and we went over all the concerns, whatever. I mean, and I hear what you're saying about that, this sounds to be a little bit more specific. And I mean, I'm not saying that the system or the rules are fair, we don't make them, unfortunately. The best we can do, all I could say to you is, as Marlene, I don't think I could say it better than she did, is to be on top of it. And, if you're planning to submit everything, just make sure that day is available and get it in on time. As to him having too many events in the community, I mean, that's really something that the community is gonna have to come out and speak about, One person's voice matters, but, I don't know if we're gonna consider just because one person thinks it's too many events, because a lot of people might think they're okay. There have been some discrepancies. We've even met off the record at least one time with him. There was talks about the garbage cleanup and all that. So we're on top of it as much as we can, but you're always welcome to express any concerns or anything you have as well, all right?
And I want to say, I'm sorry that you didn't get your application in prior, but now we have a heads up so that we know in the future that once May rolls around, you should be submitting.
Well, that's the thing, it's one thing for us to have a heads up, but SAPO,
but if she
gotta
submits
submit,
the
you gotta submit it on time, that's it.
Right.
That's
So
it, that's it. She
with her
submits,
application before he
That's
does.
all I meant.
So she's the first one.
It's a
Right,
race, yeah.
so do it early. It doesn't matter how far in advance you do it, does it?
No, as long as you're the first one.
All right, we have a few more things, so if there's nothing else on this, then Thank you. Do we have any other hands or anything? All right, so can we move, we're in new business. All right, so we're gonna talk about petitions for support, but there was, I believe, Marlene, you said Alex, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm hungry.
We got like two, I think.
Yeah, Alex, 1, 2, 3, 4, and OCM application.
Okay.
If anybody wants to see it, because this
The
came in at the
OCM
11th
application,
hour,
yeah.
these things.
Yeah.
What's this for?
All right, so I'm.
You guys
I'm
are
going-
thinking about this now, so.
I'm gonna go through these, put this, we'll do the OCM application.
You want to do OCM?
Yeah, let's do OCM first, because there's nobody here. I don't think we have to speak about that. All right, so we got our first, I guess, cannabis, Office of Cannabis Management license submitted. I'll pass this around so you can all look at it.
Okay.
Basically, from what I can see, we don't really have any procedures in place right now, right?
We talk, remember,
We don't. But you know, to our defense too, I don't think we've really been given
any
clarity from OCM, right?
at all.
About what the procedure is, like, I thought they were supposed to pick locations, and then we were gonna, there was a whole meeting. At the, at Candy's building on 115.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of talk about cart being put before the horse, right? Like, they're gonna pick a location or an applicant, and then we're gonna vet them out, as opposed to like, you know, you don't give somebody a liquor license and then go, okay, now.
Now let me see what you do.
So there are issues there, right? This one, as far as I can see, is going to be on 118th Street. And I think it's on Pleasant and East River. So like, you know, like where Costco is on 117, this would be like on 118. And from what I can tell, I don't know if it's.
That's a really interesting.
It's a temporary delivery location.
That's really
So
interesting juxtaposition to the nightclub fish market.
Yes, it's right there.
Isn't that interesting?
I think my bigger concern is like, we've had a whole summer, we had a good amount of people show up from this community, you know, not just this board, there were members, I think Pilar put that together, she's from the community. And like, the fact that we're Pilar DeJesus, she's a community. member.
Okay, I know who that is. Yes, no, because she
The
came.
fact of the matter is that we're getting an application, I'm not, the applicant, I have no issue with. It's, of course.
It's the
I agree with all the plot, right, it's the process, like, how come we're getting applications now, and we still don't have.
A procedure or understanding.
I think the question is.
I know who Pilar is.
The court has ruled that no licenses are gonna be.
So that doesn't matter.
issued. Right, pushing.
For now.
Yeah,
Okay.
no licenses are gonna be issued.
Pass it around if they want
Until
to
they
see it.
I
decide
wanna see, let me see
who
what
gets a
they.
priority.
Just so you know, though, this is starting to come, okay?
Yeah.
We knew it was coming, it's coming, whether it's held up in the Supreme Court. Well, you know what, we gotta get clarity at some point, right? That's
Okay, so
that.
let me ask this is gonna be a business, it says.
It's in the temporary delivery location,
Because you know that there are licenses to deliver.
right? So that
That
might
is
be what
separate
people.
from having a building.
No,
No, you can deliver with I believe you can deliver.
There's a
dispensary license.
A dispensary.
the dispensary.
If you own if you have a dispensary, you can also deliver. But this.
But you can get a license and not have a dispensary.
can't get a
Right.
license.
To leave, to deliver.
You can't get a license, period.
Right now, you can't.
You can't.
There's a whole.
Okay, yeah, something wrong, because I read something that
Look,
said you can get.
we don't have enough information, to be honest.
Right.
I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. all
Well,
right?
I brought it up, remember,
Well, of
when I
course.
told you about Peace, Puff and Path. Like, y'all know there's a week.
Well, but thank you for making that point, right? So, you know, here's the. There's the bubble which with the government likes us to think we live in. And then there's the reality. And
Of what it is.
100 stores doing this already in our neighborhood.
Everywhere.
Right, that are not regulated and everything, so, you know, like, am I gonna pull my hair out that I see this and we have no rules in place? Now when I know there's like 8 stores I can walk to in a block that are, you know, doing it anyway, so it's just a little bit, the whole thing's a little ridiculous. But you know, I'm gonna leave it there for now, because again, we all have our opinions, we all have our feelings, I just don't think we have enough information.
No, we don't have enough information. to
And
make a
everybody was
decision.
very hot on this, I remember I was having meetings with other chairs and everything, and then it just kind of.
Fizzled out.
Yeah.
I was
All right.
very upset because the guy, what was the guy who was part of this?
Well, he was like the head of it.
He was
Christopher.
Yes.
And he said that they can choose any location. we thought, and we asked, are you gonna come to
To
us
us first.
to see if
We
that,
approved
if
that.
we approve that location, or maybe if there's other drug places, remember we said.
Yeah, we
there's
asked if there was like
other
a drug,
places.
drug rehabilitation. They were like, oh, well, maybe.
He said, oh, yes, they'll come to us and they'll compromise, and that didn't happen.
All right, I think, do we have any hands up, Marlene?
Jules, but I don't believe he wants to
I
speak
think-
on behalf of this one.
Is it Xavier's hand up?
Xavier just joined.
I don't know, you want to recognize him, I think you might.
Yeah, go ahead, you just recognized.
Xavier?
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much. I hope the meeting is going well. I had to attend an event in the community. I think we'd seen an email going back and forth on when it comes to a petition support or to just to abdicate our responsibility. And I just want to say it's important that we set some guidelines that are very clear for the public and the community. And more so that they know it's my opinion, but I want the committee to have a robust discussion to create guidelines that are easy to understand. But I think abdicating any involvement would be unwise at this point. So I think it's important because this allows us first to check in and for the public to be aware. So that was just one recommendation I was going to push out, but I appreciate the discussion thus far. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna table this for now. I mean, I think what we'll do is, I'll look at an agenda where we don't have we're gonna always have one where we have 4 or 5 applications, and maybe we could carve out like a 40-minute discussion on this, where we can kind of put things in place that we'd like to see, regardless of what is actually happening outside of our.
No, I think until the state clarifies their position on what license is gonna be actually put out, there's nothing for us to discuss.
Well, we can discuss what we'd like to see in this community.
Yeah, well, when we have an issue, then we discuss it.
Well, but-
That was our issue.
Well, no, but hold on, now, let me say something. If we wait until they push their stuff out, it will get railroaded. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you, I sat with them and we asked them how they feel about putting it next to treatment facility,
Right.
and we weren't given a concrete answer.
Right.
So I don't really think I wanna sit and wait till they do whatever they think they wanna do, and then we say something, because I'm telling you what's gonna happen. Other communities in this city are going to do this now. They're gonna put the work in, they're gonna yell, they're gonna complain, and that's why, not just with this, oftentimes we're wondering why we get the short end of the stick. You know, why do things get done here last? Why? Because we say this stuff. We say, okay, we'll wait and see. I think we should be more proactive.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, whoever doesn't wanna sit here for the hour with me and talk, when we do it, is welcome to leave, but I would like to.
We're proactive to do what?
So if there are gonna be dispensaries in this neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't we at least have an idea of how we want that to look, or at least have an idea of how we wanna say it would look here?
Yes.
How would we?
Well, like, how close do we want them? Do we want them near a treatment facility? So let me ask you, can we agree that we have a lot of more fair share of drug, needle exchanges, methadone clinics, whatever, right?
Yeah.
We're not, this isn't Tribeca, or
That has
so.
nothing to do with cops.
No, but
Well, that's your opinion. That's my opinion.
against pot.
No,
But the point is that you don't need to bring something that can exacerbate feelings in other people when they're trying to get their lives together.
there are people who don't think you should put that near certain places.
I think you should,
Right?
I agree with that.
Xavier raised his hand again.
Well, all right, look, I'm gonna table it, but we're saying there's no need for a discussion, and yet here we are having a discussion. So I mean, that would make my point in and of itself. But, all right, so Judith, then Xavier, and then I'm gonna move to the next item.
The guy, what was his name, that when we went to that meeting with Kala, is there any way that we can get that guy here to talk to us about that? That's the important, he's the head of this.
Well, here's my thinking, right? We had him come, and I don't think we had a united front on what we wanted to see.
At that
So what
point.
I'm thinking is that we spend time
To work it
to
out.
work it out, say, this is what we wanna see. Now, you may, and you have it right, you may say, okay, I don't think that it matters. I don't think putting this, but there are people who feel that way. There are other things, security requirements, you know, they're gonna try to treat the whole city with I can't see them coming in and having one rule for one neighborhood, one rule for another neighborhood. But we all have, that's why we have a stipulation for liquor license.
Right.
Because we've accepted that we may have certain things that are different from 50 something street, whatever, right? So I think at least we not be doing our constituents, we'd be doing them a disservice if we didn't at
We
least
need to do
take
our
into
due diligence.
consideration what we think we may have unique challenges here, right? And listen, they might tell us to go kick rocks, right?
Yes.
And you know what? That's fine, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't put the work in anyway. That's all I'm saying, all right?
So what was this about, spending an hour to talk about it?
I said that when we have a meeting where we have an agenda that's light, sometimes we may have three
Then
or
we
four.
can
Then
stay.
we can spend maybe 45 minutes on that. And this is a hard committee to have like these working discussions, because we always have a lot of action items. Right?
Yes.
If other committees
Thank
like
you.
vote once every 6 months, so yeah, they spend 2 hours talking about things, which is fine. That's
No,
the
this
way.
is a
This
move.
is
This is
right.
a
So
move.
what I'm saying is, for the sake of all our time, we'll try to be strategic with which meeting I pick that with, right? I won't pick it for like a May or a June meeting when I get
No.
40. So I'll see, Marlene will give me like, okay, this is like what the agenda looks like, but all right, we might have a chance there. So for the sake of time though, I think Xavier has his hand up again. I'm gonna give him the floor and then we're gonna move to this other, no, we have another thing first, okay?
Okay.
Sorry. Xavier,
So we're gonna table this.
Yeah, thank you so much. One of the things I wanted to mention is, one, I just want to give a quick props to Marlene. I was at East Harlem Bottling Company, and thank you very much for getting an issue they had resolved very quickly. So I think it's important. We appreciate the work that you do. The second thing, when it comes to process and SLA, we had an issue earlier this summer, or actually before the summer, as you may recall, them with Allison's, where they were applying for a full license, which our board approved, and they denied it, claiming they had done an investigation and consulted with the principal of the school right across the street from their location. And after consulting with the principal and the assistant principals, it was found out that that was a lie. No one talked to any principal or assistant principal at that school or location, nor did anyone show up. So I think as we start parsing out and creating a process of oversight and our weighing in, I want us to keep in mind with open eyes, there are some really great, and if it weren't for some of the more seasoned veteran staff at SLA who could resolve the miscommunications, they would have been without a wine and beer license at that location, which we know can be the kiss of death for a business. So I think it's important to keep under consideration how we engage with our process as you have this conversation. So I just want to make sure the committee was aware of the back and forth and also be thankful to the staff. So I'll leave it with you, Adam. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
thank you, you too. All right, so let's, all right, so we have, Alex 123 Corp. I believe we approved them for, I don't know, was it our last meeting, Marlene?
It was in January.
All right, so in January, we approved them for a beer and cider license, right? And it was for a restaurant. Well, they went and they submitted all their paperwork to SLA. They got a deficiency notice that they're not a restaurant, they're a tavern, because they don't have an extensive enough food menu.
Okay.
So I believe they resubmitted a 30-day notice, but it wasn't in enough time
No, not for the-
for this meeting, so they want to come and ask for a waiver. I know I think the gentleman might be on here, but I really want to save us time because I think we have said as a board that we are not for these waivers, and the reason being it forgoes our ability to review applications, right?
Okay.
So, I feel bad because, he's gonna go September now without it, but we have to have some kind of like concrete rule, so no waivers. That's
No
basically the point of this, no waivers, period, no waivers for this. This application now, I believe we got this on September 1st, so this would go on our October agenda.
Okay.
And then, we can review it as a tavern.
As a tavern.
As a tavern, it's beer and wine, I think they do have food, I don't think they have a big menu,
Right.
but that,
Where is this place located?
it is,
That's at my home.
1928 Third Avenue.
Mhm. That's my
what
spot.
street? I don't know. I mean, if the applicant's on here, I really, for the sake of, they're not, okay, so we're just gonna table, I don't think we have to take a position on this, right,
This is
Marlene?
not the one that was on 116th Street or something, right?
No,
No.
okay, so, all right, so just,
Your position is that.
our
you're-
position is there's no waiver.
There's no
So
waiver.
from now on, if somebody asks for a waiver,
No
the
waiver.
answer from the office is no, because that's the
No.
position is complete.
Thank
All
you.
right, last point then for the night, this is, so petitions,
We're
right?
gonna open that up again.
Well, that's what, so I thought about it, that's just me thinking about it. I'm one person. We didn't do petitions because of COVID, right?
Right,
You talking about
I remember.
petitions. Yeah.
Street person.
Or for,
Whatever.
right, so it's of my mind that well, let's say COVID started in 2020, right? It's been over 3 years, right, that we haven't asked for a petition. And I haven't personally seen an uptick in any kind of issues.
Dangerous.
Or just complaints, like the number, the complaints that have come in, right, and we all know this, are not because people didn't get signatures, it's because they said they were gonna do one thing and they went and they did another thing. And that's why the stipulation form was put into place, because you could have had 40 signatures and somebody came and said that, and was like, oh, well, you know, we had a place, I think before, maybe you weren't on at that time, Milwaukee. They were literally talking about like machetes and people were afraid to go home, like,
Jules had his hand up when you were.
okay, they were afraid to go home.
Yeah.
And we couldn't, and we were like, you need to take their liquor license, and it took forever. My point being, you know, the way we see things, the way SLA sees things, those are always aligned. While I do though believe, my other thing with the petitions is I looked at other community boards, right? Like I went to there are other websites and saw what they asked for. Ones
Okay.
that have even more restaurants or nightlife than we do,
Right.
which you would think they'd have more of a concern because they have more of it, and they weren't even asking for petition. Then I thought about the challenges of petitions, right? So COVID's over, but we're living in a world where it always seemed a little strange to me. I don't know about you guys, but like if I'm going home and somebody's standing by my building going, hey, can you sign this? I'm kind of like,
Why?
you know, you're like invading my space, whatever. It's a little bit much, right? That's one. Two, we're still in a neighborhood, as you could see, and we had a couple of street activities say they couldn't even find one place to give them a letter of support. There are, I know for a fact, establishments that do not have the ability to get 25 signatures within a 2-block radius, which then, you know what ends up happening? We get this long list of the Bronx, this and that, and then what do we do with it, right? So
We're just gonna.
we have to think about a way, right now, the only thing we have to notify the public are the conspicuous postings on the link,
Yes.
right? And I think we have the requirement that there's like another one within 200 feet, so it's really like two, like one on a lamppost, one on a door. We could think about expanding that, right, say, if you're gonna have one, have it up.
Expand
Have it
out.
up within a 3-block radius, say have 12 postings on, you know, 12 different corners. I mean, we can figure all that out. I don't think it's super urgent, only because we've gone 3 years. So what's another month or two till we
Till
think
we
about,
figure it out.
you know, we could, and so I'm gonna give you also like homework. Think about, you could say, you know what, no, the petitions are what I want, right? That could be one. Two could be, here's a better idea. Or 3 could be, things are working the way they have been. I'm of the mind that they have been working the way they have been, but we could
Improve.
improve it, exactly. So I like the idea, I think I read somewhere, and I'm gonna do a little more homework. I didn't look at all of them. Some, they'll print like 80 flyers, right? And they'll just distribute them to people walking by, whatever. Now, granted, again, you could say, well, how do you know that person lives there? I mean, I don't know. How do you know somebody didn't go sit and sign 30 names on that paper? I mean, half the times I saw the names, I couldn't even read them. So there's always gonna be those challenges. The goal of this is to get the community aware so that if anyone has an issue, they can attend.
And they come.
And they can come and then they can be heard, right? So that's the thing, right? And the question is, I don't think the petitions. We've seen over 3 years that not having them hasn't made a big impact. And I know when we had them, there was always issues around them. Oh, I can't get them. I have, one guy is in a building with 500 people. Okay, I can get him. Another guy's on a block with a few walk-ups and no one's ever home. I can't get them.
Well, one person signs the whole thing.
Or one person signs the whole thing, right? I mean, it happens. So that's homework. If anybody wants to give input now, no, but I'd like to have 10 minutes next month to discuss it. And then by the following month, I'd
Make
like
a
to put
decision.
something in place. Look, and then if it doesn't work,
We can
we
change.
can change it. Like, you know, I think there's this thing like if we put something in, it's gotta stay there for years. No, it doesn't. All right, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
And if something happens, we can address it. You know what I mean? With that said, we do have a hand, right? And I think it might be on this topic. I'm going to ask that you keep your comments brief and succinct, and if you have opinions, you can have them, but remember that they are your opinions and your input, but that by no means do we have to take any of those recommendations, but we will hear them, okay? The floor is yours. Whoever it is.
Is that me?
Is it
Marlene?
Jules?
Yeah, it's Jules Feynman, 9798 Lex Park. Thank you very
How are
much.
you?
I'll be as brief as
No
possible. Is my audio clear?
Can we hear you?
Thank you. First, I want to congratulate Patsy's as well as all the other applicants who were approved tonight. And I want to commend the residents who live over the Mexican restaurant applicant who spoke up, speaking regarding the noise from the previous incarnation, because if you don't speak up, you get sat on. Regarding the dispensary, I want to urge you to work with Sean Hill from the Greater Harlem Coalition regarding the oversaturation of treatment locations in Harlem and East Central and East Harlem, and their connection to the opening of that dispensary that you're so concerned with. Regarding the new business, I've been a resident of Community Board 11M since 2001, and I've appeared and spoken many times in front of this subcommittee. I urge you to reinstate the requirement for petitions of support for bar applications, and here's a few reasons, very brief. First off, I'm a little confused as to how you can be unhappy with not having input on the dispensary, but you don't want to give back to the public the review process they had for many years. Another reason is to make sure the License and Permit Subcommittee, as Xavier brought up, has as much overview on an application and has as much review power as possible versus the review and approval power that is now going to separate, unaccountable city agencies, as appears to be happening with the restaurant sheds. The most important reason they should be required is to give the community, especially those living next door, above, or across the street from the proposed bar, an actual foreknowledge of what's coming in and whether it's something they're interested in enough to even sign the petitions of support. The bar owners are saying they can't find anybody, that people aren't home. Listen, let them do a postcard mailing and say, if you want this bar, here's what we're doing. Here's our website. Please come downstairs between these hours and we're going to sign it, or we're coming door to door. If you want to spend the hundreds of thousands or millions of bucks to open a bar or restaurant in New York City, then you should be able to tell the people who live around there what you're doing. Okay. And you should also, I agree with you, expand the radius of blocks of posting. I've been asking you guys to do that for years. One poster on the door and one lamppost, no one sees it. Okay. And if we don't find out, if a block association doesn't find out about this, then no one gets told. Okay. And that's why no one is showing up. And also, don't forget, one of the reasons you haven't heard anything is because New York City has lost hundreds of thousands of residents. Okay. Another good reason, I'm almost done, is actually good for the bars, because it would give the bar owner, the applicant, the opportunity to let the neighborhood know what the applicant is doing. And it gives the applicant a last chance marketing test. I've worked in bars for dozens of years to gauge and generate community interest. Perhaps they might find a different focus based on community need and desire, different drink, different food, different music versus one thing or another. And you're only going to find that out going face to face. You just come in and just go, oh, I have a great idea. I'm sure I'll steamroll the neighborhood into accepting it. That doesn't always work. This way, they can work. I want to thank you for allowing me to go on the record asking you to reinstate this requirement for the petition to support. And I look forward to further discussion in the next few meetings as you brought up. Thanks very much.
Joel,
You want to.
is he still there?
Well, just say it for a second.
No, you mentioned Sean Hill. Sean Hill is part of the coalition that I'm part of. He knows exactly when these meetings are. He can come to them. He can speak about what he wants to. So he hasn't done any of that. I do get emails from him, and not one email has said anything about license.
Okay, I want to say one thing and then I'm going to wrap
Well,
this.
you didn't have dispensary on this agenda tonight. Okay.
It wasn't on what we're talking about. It wasn't on the agenda.
It wasn't on.
It was just brought to our attention that.
Right. I'm just saying that I'm not defending Sean Hill. I don't even know what he looks like.
To be honest with you, Judith, you can have that off the record. I'm not really sure. I kind of don't know where you're going with it, but I'm going to end this conversation with this. When I said that this community has the right to be notified about stuff and have input, I meant that. And I wasn't saying that I'm looking to get rid of petition. I'm actually saying what we've been doing for 3 years has been working. And I'll say this, another reason why, because if there was such a tremendous problem with how it's been going, we'd see a massive uptick in 311 calls when these applications were coming up for renewal. But now, if I'm also gonna be told, well, nobody wants to pick up the phone and call 311. Well, you know what? There's a limit to what we can do. We're all adults and we can all pick up the phone, and we can all do certain things. Outreach has a limit, and then people have to also take it into their own hands. So if you live up above a noisy bar, I've never once, since I've chaired this, I actually think that I've been in other committees where they don't have as much going on, and they're a lot less patient with letting people express themselves and speak than I do here. I just said, how can we improve upon what we're doing for 3 years, but perhaps petitions are archaic. And I'm gonna say one last thing, and I will say this full disclosure as a business owner, but also as someone who's pretty much spent their whole life in this community. We complain that we don't have enough businesses. And then we want to make it so much more difficult. I mean, we're not talking about people coming in here trying to open up like a nuclear testing facility or restaurants. You know, I mean, you could see we're very apprehensive when we hear live music, DJs, anything that sounds like a nightclub. I mean, the stuff we have to deal with certain applicants who we do that. But from my experience, the overwhelming number of restaurants and bars who open this neighborhood have been nothing but good neighbors. And I actually would hope we'd get more and we'd be a more welcoming, because it would trickle down all over. And one last point, because there was a study that we spend most of our dollars in this community in other communities. So how do we expect others to spend money here when we're not even spending it here? So this is a bigger problem, but I appreciate your feedback. You're welcome to come, keep giving your input, and we are going to find the best way possible to get as much of the community notified as possible, all right? With that said, that's new business. I think there is no old business. Roll call, yeah, Marlene, you could take it. Jesus.
This is much longer than I expected.
Agenda Greenhouse,
Yes.
you're present?
Yes.
Okay. Carlos Diaz is excused for this meeting. Angela Donaville,
I am here.
Judith Guevara.
Oh,
Here.
Yeah.
and she's here.
Wanda Hopkins,
Are they still watching us?
Christina Johnson,
Okay.
She's still watching them.
Beverly McFarland,
Good thing.
The same.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Here. Present.
Loretta Stolz is appearing by Zoom and not present at quorum,
Don't run off so fast. I see you trying to.
and Jordan Ryan.
Present.
That's my thing.
Good, meeting's over.
Is it
So-
adjourned?
Adjourn.
Can we turn off now?
Well,
I'm monitoring two things, give me a second.
Yeah.
So me and my sister used to go to Patsy's after dancing at 3, 4 o'clock. So my sister picks up the drums of a band that we're at, and we go to eat at. And we have